What's up, you guys? Welcome back into the Battleground Podcast. It is NWA week here on the show, and Crockett Cup is just a few days away here in Nashville, and it's going to be a big show, March 19th and 20th. Of course, you can grab all your tickets. We'll give you details down below in the description, so grab your tickets. I'm going to bring in my tag team partner. There he is, Eli, repping the brand. Of course, always got to rep the brand, and today we have a former guest on the show. Last time she was in here, we had her in studio. And she intimidated us so much that when they asked us, hey, Kamille wants to come back on the show, we're like, we're going to do it on video because she scares us and we don't want to get beat up. Go back
and look at those pictures. We're both like,
we
respect you. Let's keep our.
We were doing the pandemic 6 feet apart during that photo.
That's true. Now she is also one of our win-loss. She got on the show and went on to win the Burke. So
yeah. So let's go ahead and bring her on. Kamille joins the show. Kamille.
Hello, Eli. That is one of my favorite hoodies that you have on, and I cannot find it anywhere. So
I went to buy another one because I've lost weight, as I told you.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it. I mean, the new designs are fine. I'll probably pick one up at Crockett Cup, but this one, yeah, I don't know why I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
I'll tell you what. I'll trade you.
Get Danny Dills on this.
I was gonna say I'll trade you this for the Burke.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Speaking of the Burke, I mean, you're going to be defending that championship against Kylie Ray and Chelsea Green at Crockett Cup here in Nashville, March 19th and 20th. And let's kind of just, I guess, dive right into this. You won the NWA Women's World Championship back on June 6th of 2021 against one of the best in the world, Serena Deeb. What has been your defining moments of your reign thus far?
Thus far, I would have to say probably my match with Layla Hirsch at Empower, just because that was like a big proving point for me. I think, when I got the title, just because I think that was my 4th or 5th like NWA match. Mm-hmm. And so I know already that people were, questioning like, well, what's she going to do with this title? Is she going to be able to prove herself? And then me and Layla, right after with my first title defense on a pay-per-view. I think it might have been.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
Serena was at the NW. Was that
That was in Atlanta. That was during
what was the name of that one? It was the Carnival theme, I think. It was the
Carnival. Oh, As Our Shadows Fall. That's when I beat Serena.
That's when you beat her. Yeah. So that was that pay-per-view.
I think the next one was against.
I think so, because I think you did Serena, and then you showed up on AEW, and then I think
that's what it was. Right. And so it was a big, it was a lot of pressure on me, but I do thrive under pressure. And me and Layla are both newer wrestlers, and to be able to prove, that we could put together a badass match, and it was a really big, proving moment for me. And that was the first time that I was in there, and I really felt like everything was firing on all cylinders and everything just came together. So that was a big moment for me, and it proved to myself like, you deserve this and you're gonna go far with it.
Was there a challenge working with someone of a different proportion? I mean, obviously she's strong, but I mean, you guys are different categories.
Yeah, I love working with smaller people. It's just because it's an easy story to tell, and there's just a lot more you can play with. I personally think I do think that when it comes to putting like asses in seats, a lot of people want to see like giant versus giant, and I understand that. But my personal favorite story is, like you said, like a David versus Goliath. I just think it's really fun.
Yeah. Well, Brock Lesnar's the same way. He actually went on record and was like, I love Finn. I love AJ Styles. Like, he kind of likes that
Brock
too.
Is my favorite. He wasn't my favorite growing up, but now that I'm older, that's who I kind of like.
Ponytail Brock?
Do you like redneck funny Brock, or do you like old school beast Brock? The new Brock's having fun, man.
I think I like redneck funny Brock better just because it shows his like true personality, and it doesn't change him being a badass in the ring. Absolutely. So you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's like funny in the ring. He's still a badass. So I like
it's not a joke.
Yeah, exactly. People are still they're not taking him any less serious. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, this is kind of a maybe a Kamille adjacent question, but I think if anyone knows, you'll probably know. One of the biggest, and I'd say one of the most dramatic NWA stories over the last year has been unfortunately, the ongoing turmoil within Strictly Business, which you're obviously familiar with. Are you surprised where the group ended up and currently is, or did you kind of see the cracks, in the foundation sooner than the rest of us did?
I'd say that I know that every group in life has cracks. I don't care what they look like on social media. I don't care what they look like. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, there's always cracks when there's multiple people in a group. It is what it is, because there's always going to be people that want to be the leader of the group, and then these people back here that want to be the leader, and if they feel like they're not getting, what they want. And in that case, that might be me. I might be that person that thought, Nick is always the one talking. Nick's always the one doing interviews. Nick. And it's like, hey, we got other people in this group. We got, first of all, I'm going to put on for my fiance, Tom Latimer.
Mm-hmm.
I think he deserves it all. Yep. So I think that in the end that it was kind of bound to happen, to be honest. If Nick had a little bit different personality traits, maybe not. But with the way he is, then it was bound to happen.
Yeah. And I mean, at one time, Strictly Business was practically unstoppable, anyways. Yeah. Sorry. I was trying to figure out the way to.
A lot of people were upset about the breakup. I understand.
Yeah. Well, I think it adds, there's drama there, but at the end of the day, you were brought in, for Nick, and then you got into it, and then, it went the way it went. So
yeah, and I'll always be grateful for Nick for bringing me in 100%. It got me started in the NWA, but it's like a breakup, things can start great and just end up not being so great, and that's what happens. So.
Yeah. And of course, something that's not going to happen is you losing that title come Crockett Cup in Nashville, right. March 19th and the 20th. You can still grab tickets right now, nwatix.com. And let's talk about that match. I mean, you got a tough challenge coming up at Crockett Cup as you defend the Burke against Kylie Ray and Chelsea Green, two of the most skilled and accomplished competitors on the planet. How do you prepare for a huge match like this on what will be probably one of the largest stages for you with wrestling in the NWA?
That's a great question. How do you prepare for having to take on not one person, but two people? And it's really just kind of, I'm not going to say messes with my confidence, because I'm a very confident person. And I'm always confident going in one-on-one. But in this case, I can lose without losing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can lose without getting pinned. And
that
I just think that's
always, yeah.
And I'm just like, how, like you said, how do you prepare for that? I can't be in Kylie's shoes and move out of the way on something that Chelsea does if I'm not right there. You know what I'm saying? If something has happened to me and all of a sudden Chelsea goes for a pin or Kylie goes for a pin, I don't know. I truly do not know what's going to happen. All I can say is that I have to make sure that, I stay in that ring. I'm not ever on the outside. I stay in the ring, and I'm always around to be able to break up a pin or anything like that. I have to be in there. So.
And do you have to kind of worry after recently seeing on social media the broken wrist and the cast? Do you have to worry about that possibly being used in the match?
Hey, you know what? I said this last night on the NWA. They do a thing on Mondays talking about stuff, and I said that she needs to drink some milk. You drink some milk, get some calcium in the bones, because they're always breaking. I feel like every few months something has happened to one of her bones.
And she just got out of the cast. That's the weird
I wrestled her in the cast last time I beat her.
Yeah.
She was in that cast. So, I mean, she didn't use it last time. I didn't let her use it last time. Once she did a move in there, and she kind of hurt her arm. And then once I saw that, I took advantage of it. And I don't know. Honestly, I know this might be controversial, but a big part of me thinks she's faking it, because she knows she has this match coming up with me, and she knows she's going to lose, and she wants an excuse when she loses that, I wasn't 100%, or, Chelsea's always trying to get like politic her way into matches and stuff. So she's, I need another chance because I would. Yeah, I think it's all. There's a reason behind it, I think.
Right. Well, what is it? Once a Cardona, or always a Cardona. You can't trust them as far as you throw them.
Cardona now, so yeah.
Yeah, that, the whole thing with that, obviously, besides the fact that it's the same thing over and over, I think that's the third time she's broken it. Just right before y'all's match, it just seems a little suspect. I you kind of hope no one would fake something like that, but we are talking about the NWA World Women's Championship, so who knows? Yeah. Speaking of the women's division in the NWA, really been on a roll the last year. The Empower pay-per-view in St. Louis was incredible, one of the best shows of the year. Also bringing back legends, Mickie James, Medusa was there, still there, I guess. Gail Kim helped out, really to kind of put a lot of focus on that division. What has the atmosphere been like in the locker room since these changes have been made? It seems like there's a lot of almost like buzz, you can almost feel it.
Yeah, we have a great locker room. That's one of the things I'm really proud of, that our locker room is so, supportive and cool and laid back. And, the more girls you get into the mix, it's always going to change up a little bit and you're going to have different personalities. But I do think that our locker room is one of the best out there. And the fact that we do have legends like Medusa, like Jazz, helping out back there. Just if anyone has questions about a match or questions about how they're feeling that day, they have someone to talk to and can relate to them. So it's great having male talent to be able to help as well, because they have a different kind of perspective of things. But it's also great to have the feminine perspective when it comes to wrestling, because they've been there, done that. They've been through the trenches. So it's really nice.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, you look, like you said, you've got a great locker room in there, and it's people that are up and coming. There's some established names in there, and it's a great thing. Because I remember, and we've talked about this before, I remember seeing Mims at the showcases for Tried and True.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at Mims.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show that NWA is building, a roster around them. I mean, I remember when Freeman came in with those bright yellow neon pants that he wore before he, dove into the mullet that he has now. And I mean, that's the thing I love about the NWA. The roster on there is building everybody up. And, you probably get this a lot. I know that you recently just got back on Twitter, and probably people send you DMs on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and always coming up with dream matches. And with the way wrestling is,
what's your dream match?
Exactly. With the way wrestling is currently, there's a better chance of some of those actually happening a lot. You see a lot of these companies working together. I guess one career that's running parallel to yours is Jade Cargill. Would that main event encounter interest you, and how well do you think you would fare against a formidable undefeated foe like her?
Oh, that would definitely interest me. I'm actually, to be honest, and this might be a little controversial, or people might think I'm crapping on stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of the Forbidden Door and how open it's been lately. Mm-hmm. I think that contracts are contracts for a reason. I think that people should stay to companies for a reason, because if not, then we'll have contracts.
Yeah.
If everyone can go everywhere. And I think it's been taken away, like kind of the specialness of it when something like that happens. So I kind of wish we would pull back a little bit and everyone kind of stay in their companies for a while. Mm-hmm. And then imagine, if something like that, when it does happen, if no one's been switching around for a while, how big of a deal that would be, because I do get all the time, Kamille and Jade. That's what I want to see. And how would I fare against her? I think I would fare very well. We're both, she played college basketball, I played college softball, two completely different sports, but we have that mindset, that athlete's mindset, to win, and do whatever it takes to win. So it'd be a very interesting matchup, and I definitely think that people would be tuning in to watch that.
I would be one of those.
It sounds like money to me.
Yeah.
We kind of mentioned this earlier off camera. I'm really bad about that, but so yeah, we mentioned the roster. A good roster is usually a good mix of established names and up and coming stars. Specifically with the women's roster, who surprised you most since you became world champion? We talked about some of your previous opponents. Like, is there anybody, maybe specifically, maybe you haven't fought yet, you're just seeing behind the scenes? Like, who are some people that are kind of your shining stars on the women's roster?
Yeah, so right now I'd say I have a couple. Kenzie Page, she's put in a lot of work. She's really is getting herself into great shape these days. And not only that, to show that she cares about what she's doing here, that her work in the ring is great, and she's very aggressive. She's just an aggressive girl, and she can talk on the mic some, which is, for NWA, very important. Because for me, how you're gonna, tell a story and lead to the next match is through talking a lot of the times, not even
Right.
the physical stuff. So there's Kinsey, and she's so young. I think she's about to turn 20, or she just turned 20. So very young and has a huge career ahead of her. And then there's also a girl that worked at our last tapings, Maddie Rinkowski.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's great. Just watching her, she does all the little things. She's great, and I see a bright future for her as well. So
she's a maniac.
Just without a hesitation, she's a maniac.
Yeah. She's like a sarcastic girl, and I think me and her, we just vibe, and I can see where she's coming from a lot of times. So I like her.
Nice. Well, there's something that me and Eli were kind of chatting about this earlier before we got you on the show, and how cool something would be. And I guess I'll let Eli ask this question. It involves something that you used to play before wrestling. It's a softball question, not an easy question.
I told him earlier, I was like, I'm going to ask her a softball question. He's like, what? Like an easy, like what color's your eyes? Like, no, like softball.
An
not
actual
like
softball question?
Yeah, like not an easy question. Yeah. Would you be behind the idea of a pro-am multi-federation intergender softball game to benefit charity? And if so, how do we sign up?
100%. What's funny is me and Allison Kay, because she used to play softball back in the day.
I thought she did. Yeah.
Yeah. We actually talked. We were like, we need to get an NWA slow pitch team together. Like,
well, I was thinking like if we'd had planned it before now, but I mean, meet in Nashville, you can get some Impact people, you can get some, I'm sure some AEW people, whatever, and then just donate it all to charity.
I saw that AEW did I think they did something for charity, and I was just like so envious, because I was like, dude, if I was out there, I would be ripping all these people up and showing off.
I mean, we could make that happen. Let's figure out a charity aspect behind it. Yeah. Maybe do something for National Humane Association, and let's do it.
Put iHeart behind it.
Down. As long as I'm an outfielder, I ain't playing. I don't mess around in the dirt. I ain't doing that. But outfielder, and then bat. You can bat me about third or fourth.
Clean up.
Yeah, the power slot. All right,
I got y'all.
We'll go ahead and do this, not only with your past background, but also being the champ. You'll be the captain of one team, and we'll get somebody else to be the captain of the other.
Who does get to be the captain of the other team? Do we let
Kylie Ray or maybe?
Kylie? Do we let Mickey? Somehow I figured Chelsea will probably weasel her way into the other captain.
She'll be like the DH or something.
That will be like, I'm the NWA champion, so my wife has to be the captain of the other team.
Yeah, there you go.
What's funny is for that. That's how I broke my wrist and ended my college career. I was batting, and it was like a rise ball that rose right into my wrist, and so I broken my wrist as well in softball. So
maybe she shouldn't play.
About to say, so it might not be too safe for her out there.
Yeah, probably not. We'll give her both. We'll give her casts, and we'll give her the gloves that have the ankle wraps now on them.
Yeah,
or not the ankle wraps, the wrist wraps on them. As I'm sitting here saying ankle as I'm taping my wrist.
She can be a cheerleader. How about that?
Just
throw some pom-poms and
there you go.
So, of course, Crockett Cup is in Nashville. It's an exciting time, because we were wondering, because the last time the Crockett Cup was supposed to happen, it was supposed to be in Atlanta. Of course, pandemic kind of had some other things. And, you, Kylie Ray, Chelsea Green, we've talked about the match. What other match on Crockett Cup are you looking forward to seeing? And could there possibly ever be like a female version of Crockett Cup?
I'm looking forward to seeing my man take the titles home with Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So he deserves gold, and then Chris deserves gold, and Strictly Business will all have the gold. So that'd be nice. Female version, I think that'd be cool, but I think it'll take some time, just because right now getting tag teams in the female division is a bit tough.
Yeah. It'd be a lot of outside teams, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think it'd be, and that's the thing, is I wouldn't want it to be a whole bunch of like thrown together teams, because then who cares?
Mm-hmm.
So just by being able to really find some established, female tag teams, that would take some time. I think they would do well, but I think that it would take some time to get together.
For sure.
Yeah, I think you could even do a mini version, like an Empower pay-per-view, maybe not a full 2-day thing, but just maybe like 6 teams or something, whatever. Yeah.
And the way to get Tom as get him a championship gold is, Tom's never been on the show. So
was Tom not with me when I did it?
No, it was just you that day you came in.
You drove in and we chatted and kept our distance and you drove home.
It was just you that came in that day.
For some reason Eli, it might have been you that was on this side of me, actually. Because
that was.
My head's
it
someone
was
on this
me.
side of me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what it was then. Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, now that I think about it, I think you had mentioned something that day about him coming, but I think maybe something with training, or he was training. So I think something conflicted and he couldn't make. So you came on in.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows? That
I
was
will
like
tell
3
him. I'll
years
tell
ago.
him he needs the rub.
I mean, that's the thing.
He
It's
talks
like
Cardona, and 3 days later, he's world champion. So
Oh, that was
exactly.
y'all's fault then, huh?
it is our fault. So we'll take the blame for that one.
We had Trevor on and he lost. That doesn't count for us though.
Yeah,
I'm scrolling through Facebook right now to see if I could find this photo of when we are all in the studio, because the last one I'm looking at, because we got a new title belt, so we have to get an updated photo with you with that.
Oh yes. We can't do a virtual one unless you hold it up and we go like this.
Yeah, and then that's just weird and. Yeah,
now,
we don't want to do all that, but yeah,
I mean, ask this periodically. What happens with the Burke when you're not wrestling? I mean, you get to keep it?
Yeah, I have it. That's the thing too. So many people complain about it because it's small. I'm like, first of all, I understand equality and all of that, but I am a female. I like feminine things. It's a small feminine belt. It's old school. And guess what? When I travel, it is very easy to travel with.
Very easy.
Because I have to take it places. So I am fine with it. And y'all can stop complaining because I like it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you know, you put on a full-size belt on a female and it's like, I mean, you know.
I think these girls look silly coming out and they're walking and it fits on the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. There's mine.
Yeah. The Berg is just such an awesome design, and the fact that Billy went back and bought the original is just unbelievable. Yeah, it's one of our favorite designs. Well, speaking of all that, since we're heading into this big event, where can people keep up with you online and pitch you more dream matches?
Yeah, so I'm the most active, I would say, on Instagram, and that's at Kamille Brickhouse. And by the way, let's put this out there, everybody. My name is just Kamille. I just made Kamille Brickhouse my Instagram name because Kamille was already taken. So I'm the Brickhouse Kamille, but like I see it on people's like advertisings when I'm on indie shows and stuff like that, and they're like Kamille Brickhouse. So just Kamille, but yeah.
So
and Twitter at Kamille_Brick.
Because I was looking for it when we were tagging you, and I was like, I knew she deleted her Twitter, and then all of a sudden I saw the NWA tagging you, and I was like, did she like delete us off of Twitter and now I don't know? Or
you guys got blocked?
Probably. I mean, Tyrus blocked us and we're talking to him, so I'm gonna ask him why he blocked us. I was like, bro, I never did anything. I was like, we never said anything to you. But
we actually love the TV title, so we're like, we don't understand. What
exactly?
And never know. You guys could have like maybe replied to say, you never know what we see. We see everything. So,
trust me, I keep that Twitter. We keep it very right down the middle for the most part.
That's smart.
But I will tell you this, and I finally found it. And of course, everybody, if you're listening to this, you could watch the interview, youtube.com/Battleground Podcast as our YouTube channel. But check this photo out. This is when we had Kamille in studio, and we were just like, yeah, no.
And I'm pretty sure that was 3 years ago. I'm pretty sure that was 2019.
I think that was.
I don't even think Kamille had started talking in the ring yet.
No, I hadn't.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Because I told one of my buddies, I was like, oh, we're interviewing Kamille, and they're like, how? Like, I was like,
yeah, what's she gonna say?
I mean,
right.
She just doesn't talk on the air.
Oh, that's another thing. That's another thing that people complain about when I started talking. She's Southern? Sorry.
I mean, like, yeah.
I really apologize for being from the South and having.
Yeah. Well, first off, it's a decision you have no control over.
Right.
You know, it's almost like, man, you know, the internet wrestling community really, you know, there's a lot of good out there, but I mean, like, golly, man.
There's a lot of bad too.
God, I mean, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes for like a day. I mean, it's just, I can't even deal with some of the people. I don't even deal with the socials. I'm like, I'm not posting any. I'm not dealing with it. I don't even want to see any of it.
I post stuff and then I just let it roll. I don't even look at whatever people are saying.
To the trolls or anything.
Yeah, that's why Instagram is I changed it to where only people that follow me can comment. Ever since I did that, pretty positive, pretty happy place. Twitter obviously got rid of it, and now I have a social media manager that handles it for me. So
look at you. That's what happens when you're the champ.
Yep. So I just, yep.
Well, we don't want to take up too much of the champ's time, but again, Kamille is defending the NWA Women's World Championship against Kylie Rae, Chelsea Green at Crockett Cup in Nashville. 2 nights, March 19th and March 20th. Of course, you can grab your tickets at nwatix.com. Kamille, thank you for coming on the show with us, and we're looking forward to you defending that title and winning it, and then you just take some time off.
There you go. I wish I have to wrestle the next weekend. Actually, after that,
Oh.
so no time off, no rest for the wicked.
No time off for the champ.
Yeah.
Hey, but eventually time off soon, because I mean you've got the whole wedding and honeymoon and everything else. So.
Oh yeah, I'm taking time. That's what end of May. End of May, I am taking some time off.
There you go. Well, Kamille, again, thank you for coming on the show, and we look forward to seeing you at Crockett Cup.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.